Welcome to Marketplace Finds, where we show off some crazy and interesting cars for sale, judge what we think of the price, then order it in our tier list. Now this right here is a 2004 Infiniti G35 that desperately wants to be an R35 GTR, but let's be honest, it's about as convincing as a Temu Rolex at a yacht club. Someone clearly took a look at Nissan's supercar and said, yeah, I can do that with $80 worth of eBay parts. The body lines are pure G35, but the front bumper looks like it's melting from embarrassment. Even the rear bumper is in the middle of abandoning ship. If you thought the whole paint job looks a bit off as well, that would be because it's been doused in blue rhino liner, so it's not actually paint, more regret in textured form that conveniently helps to hide all the imperfections. Under the hood you've got the legendary VQ35, a motor known for its durability right up until someone pours too much oil into it, which is exactly what happened here, because the seller admits the head gasket's blown and it's puffing smoke. Inside we've got custom red and black seat covers that say Infiniti G35, just in case you forgot what car you're sitting in while you're stranded on the side of the highway. And the best part of all is the seller says the front bumper bands were snapped by a tow truck, as if the truck didn't do this car a favor by trying to put it out of its misery. For $2,000, this is your chance to experience GTR ownership without, any of the actual GTR parts, power, reliability, or dignity. This 2012 Hyundai Sonata is what happens when someone's love for anime collides head-on with the can of spray adhesive and zero self-control. From the front it looks like the car itself is blushing from embarrassment, and honestly, who can blame it? That hood wrap could get you put on a watch list in certain zip codes. The owner named it Sakura, because of course they did, and the paint scheme is pinker than a Valentine's Day sale at Claire's. Down the sides, you get cherry blossom decals, butterflies, and the faint scent of Monster Energy and social anxiety. Even when you pop the hood, it looks like Patrick Star has been in there. Even the turbo probably spins in shame. It's $9,000, but think of the savings. You'll never have to pay for a date again, because you'll never get one. I'll be honest, I can't tell if this next one is a cool car, or if I'm going to get roasted in the comments for giving it some props. It was once a stock standard 1978 Austin Mini, but as you can see, it's now been turned into pure chaos with craftsmanship. The body looks like it was sculpted out of leftover fighter jet panels, all bulging fenders, riveted seams, and of course everyone's favorite number all over. It's slammed so low you'd need a hydraulic lift just to clear a speed bump, but the stance is so perfect it makes every other Mini look like it skipped leg day. Insanely, the seller has somehow managed to fit in a small block V8 into the tiny frame, which is easily the best part of the build. Inside you get aluminum panels, a custom gauge cluster, racing seats with harnesses, and, of course, a Batman car seat for the passenger, because nothing says responsible parenting like strapping your kid into a 400 horsepower death cart. The seller's asking $35,000 or open to trades, preferably a nice golf cart plus cash, because of course, after building one of the most terrifying Minis on earth, the logical next step is a golf cart.
Get her done.
This started life as a 2002 Mazda Protege, but somewhere along the way it got lost in the woods and came back as a Gambler 500 off-road mutant. The fenders are long gone, the wheels are pushed out like it's skipping leg day, and the front bumper's been replaced with a metal battering ram that could survive a bear attack. It's rocking enough off-road lights to guide planes in, a roof rack with storage for questionable decisions, and a homemade snorkel setup that screams I've seen things. Out back, a custom steel bumper finishes off the built-in-a-garage at midnight aesthetic perfectly. Under the hood, the old Mazda 2-litre is still kicking after 207,000 miles, probably running on equal parts oil, caffeine, and spite. The seller's asking $4,000, which feels fair for a car that can daily drive, camp, and survive the apocalypse.
Give me a hell yeah!
This is what Facebook Marketplace was created for. Meet the John Deere motorcycle mower trike. This thing looks like someone lost custody of their kids and their sanity, and then decided to merge a chopper with a riding mower just to feel something again. It's rocking a 10.5 horsepower Briggs & Stratton engine, which means it's not fast enough to outrun your problems, but it'll definitely let you mow over them in style. It's got reverse, functioning blades, and a level of danger OSHA couldn't imagine in their worst nightmares. You've got ape hanger handlebars, a John Deere badge of honor, and negative aerodynamics. The seller claims it runs, rides, and operates with no issues, which is impressive because most of us can't even say that about ourselves. It's perfect for anyone who wants to look like they're riding to Sturgis but ends up at Home Depot instead. For $1,900, you're not buying a mower or a motorcycle, you're buying freedom, and also probably a few grass stains. Ah yes, time for our weekly Pontiac Fiero, but this one might not be as much as a nightmare as our usual ones, as it's now been reborn into a full-on tube chassis sports car with an identity crisis. Built up from a mix of Corvette and Porsche parts, I'm not really sure there's any Fiero left. Underneath, it's running a LS2 mounted midship, because clearly the original Iron Duke wasn't suicidal enough. It's paired to a 2014 Porsche Boxster 6-speed manual, making this one of the few cars in existence where you can say, yeah, it's got parts from both ends of the IQ spectrum. The Stinger body kit kit actually looks decent too. No weird body gaps or chunks missing out the fiberglass, although the paint is losing a battle against the sun. The seller's after $30,000, which is steep considering you could just buy an actual Porsche or a nice Corvette for that kind of money. This 2006 Mitsubishi Eclipse is a masterclass in commitment, specifically committing to a vision no one else would dare attempt. Painted in radioactive green with electric blue streaks and decals straight from a tuner catalog, this thing looks like it drove out of a video game loading screen and refused to update its graphics since 2007. Mechanically, it's less exciting. The engine's in bad shape, it leaks oil and transmission fluid, and it's misfiring on a few cylinders, which basically means it sounds like a drumline practicing underwater. But if you're buying this thing, it's not for smooth idling, it's for the vibe. At $2,500, you too can own the scuffed version of Brian's Eclipse, just don't expect it to hit nozzle second gear. Next up we have a 2013 Chevrolet Camaro that's got more fake blood on it than a Halloween store clearance rack and more plastic teeth than your grandma's bathroom cup. Whoever built it is really hitting all the ricest stereotypes, because we've got a fake hood scoop the size of a toddler's car seat, monster scratches over the headlights that look like the eye of Sauron, and the cherry on top, the fake tow hook, is attached to the bumper. I honestly don't even hate the wrap job, but man, that wide body kit couldn't look any less budget. Inside, things calm down a bit with black and white seat covers, an aftermarket steering wheel wrap, and surprisingly no fake carbon fiber. If the mods didn't give it away already, this one is of course a V6 version, which is fine, just that he probably could have got a SS version instead if he didn't spend it on the dress up. It's listed up for $10,500, which is honestly pretty fair, but considering it didn't sell after being listed over Halloween, they might need to rip everything off. Next up is a 2000 Ford Focus wagon that someone decided wasn't aerodynamic enough and fixed that by strapping a literal jet engine to the back. Forget EcoBoost, this thing runs on kerosene, adrenaline, and bad decisions. It's being sold as a roller only, so no engine, but it does come with a full tube chassis, wheelwood brakes, fuel cell, and the tailpipe or afterburner setup ready for you to bolt in your very own J35 jet engine, you know, in case you just happen to have one sitting next to your snowblower. It used to be NHRA licensed, meaning it was once legally allowed to go fast enough to make Jesus grab the handbrake. Now it's expired, which feels about right for a car that can out-accelerate your life insurance policy. At $6,500, it's the cheapest way to hit Mach 1 without joining the Air Force. Just add a jet engine and top up your life insurance policy and your wife will love it. Another Garage Gold episode, another goofy ass Geo Metro that's undergone some interesting modifications. This one is a 1993 model and it's rocking a paint job that should probably be on a Fox body Mustang instead, but in all honesty, I don't really hate it. Who doesn't love a set of flames going down the side of a car when it's rocking a mighty 3-cylinder engine producing just enough power to keep the AC running? Even the hilariously oversized rear wing is doing its best to hold the car down, but with 55 horsepower, I think gravity's already winning. They're after $2,000, and sure, you're not going to win any races, but you are going to get plenty of laughs. This is a 1973 Volkswagen bus, but not just any VW bus. This one's been shrunk in the wash. Meet Shorty, the chopped, compact cartoon version of a combi that looks like it rolled straight out of a Pixar movie. From the outside, it's about 20% shorter and 200% more confusing. It's got massive 5-spoke wheels tucked under that tiny body with a beautiful paint job that continues the theme into the interior. Every panel, every seat, every stitch has been updated while keeping that old school simplicity. Just make sure everyone's under 5 foot, or your knees will be touching your head. For $60,000, it's definitely on the expensive end for a combi of that era, even for a clean and restored one, so I'm not sure it will sell for that much. This is a 2006 Chevy Cobalt, but you'd never guess it under the paint job that looks like it was inspired by someone who not only used too much spray paint, but also breathed half of it in. The front is sky blue, like a borrowed paint from a mailbox. The sides fade into a fiery orange sunset that looks suspiciously like a vape ad, and the rear turns into a cartoon mountain landscape that could have been drawn during a road trip meltdown. Every panel tells a different story, none of them good, but at $1,900 you can't complain much, and they're selling it as a project car. Meet the 1974 Mercedes Unimog 406, a truck that looks like it was built by a mad scientist who wanted to merge a tank, a farm tractor, and a bulldozer. Forget your lifted jeeps going up hills, this thing could park on the roof of your house. The seller says it's apocalypse ready, which is accurate because it looks like something you'd use to outrun a zombie horde or tow a tank out of quicksand. The bright yellow paint gives off big construction site Pikachu energy, and those wheels look ready to crush boulders, egos, and your neighbor's fence all in one go. Now here's the fun part. The seller doesn't even want cash. He has listed it for $18,000, which is cheap, but nope. He wants to trade for a mini excavator. That's how you know this guy's living the dream. Not flipping cars, not chasing horsepower, just bartering German military grade equipment for more construction machinery. If you've ever wanted to drive something that looks like it escaped from a 1950s cartoon, meet the 1961 Mazda R360. a car so tiny it makes smart cars look like SUVs. Mazda built it when lightweight engineering meant how many parts can we remove before it collapses. It tips the scales at around 838 pounds. That's less than some people's ride-on mowers and only slightly more than a Costco rotisserie chicken. The exterior looks like someone melted a Volkswagen Beetle and then said, "Perfect, painted in baby mint green." It gives off major ice cream truck meets Vespa vibes. It rides on wheels roughly the size of a dinner plate, which makes speed bumps a full-blown Everest expedition. Power comes from a 356cc V-twin engine mounted out back, producing a staggering 16 horsepower. That's right, a whole 16. They're asking $27,000, which sounds steep until you realize it's one of the rarest Mazdas ever built, and possibly the only car you can parallel park perpendicular to the curb. This 2008 Lincoln Town Car stretch limo is less of a vehicle and more of a moving monument to freedom. It's decked out in a full American flag wrap with the SR-71 proudly on the hood, stars marching across the bumpers, and more patriotic slogans than a 4th of July parade float. Still wears its faded white top like a veteran's old cap, aged but honourable, while the sides stretch out longer than the Declaration of Independence itself. It's described by the seller as looking really good and running clean, which might be true if you squint hard enough through the smell of aged leather and unshakable patriotism. It's powered by freedom, runs on bald eagle tiers, and for $150,000, you're not just buying a limo, you're buying America on wheels. This 2011 Dodge Durango RT looks like it was built by someone who wanted their car to scare small children and Honda Civics. It's rocking a military green wrap over the original black, but that's about where the seriousness ends. From there, it's all gold. You get a gold grille, gold wheels, gold mirrors, gold pedals. It's like Midas tried to start a car club. The hood is full carbon fiber with more vents than a gaming PC. Then there's the horror movie cast chilling in the front seats: Jason, Freddy, and Michael Myers, because apparently the previous owner didn't want friends, they wanted nightmares. The back even has fake blood drips and Freddy's glove reaching out the rear window like a horror themed Easter egg. Inside, things calm down a bit: tan leather, decent trim, and a few tasteful mods, though the jump scare mask kind of kills the luxury vibe. They are after $8,000, which is a little bit high, especially when you hear the real scary part of it having 160,000 miles. This one's just a little bonus find we stumbled across: a 1959 Cadillac Series 62, finished in unapologetic hot pink with a matching custom interior, air ride suspension, and enough glamour to stop a few pacemakers. There are only 4 photos of the car, which feels suspicious for something this flashy, and then you realize why it's really in this video, because the owner isn't just showing it off, he's literally pulling the car using his back piercings, all while having a prosthetic leg. It's equal parts impressive, unsettling, and unforgettable. Either way, this candy coloured land yacht can be yours for $50,000, and probably a piercing or tattoo from the seller thrown in to seal the deal. Here's how the final tier list ended up. Let us know what we got right, what we got wrong, if there's anything you change around. Otherwise, thanks for watching, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.